Hello, 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 Facebook land, to my YouTube viewers. It's your girl, Angera Marie, International Angera, and you are watching COVID-19 and Company Conversations from the Epicenter across the globe. Hey guys, I'm so excited to join you all. First I have to say happy 4th. I don't know
Yes.
how you say it. Happy 4th of July, or do you say July 4th? I don't know. Leave me some comments. How do you say it? It's really like happy birthday, America. For
Oh,
those who don't know, I have
hold on.
like a lot of international people that watch. So if you don't know that we're celebrating the passage of the Declaration of Independence by the Continental Congress, and that started in that was in 1776, and that gave us freedom from Great Britain to become an independent nation. So that's what America is celebrating today. It is our birthday, and we are 245 years old today. So once again, happy birthday, America. I hope everyone's having a little fun today, maybe getting some barbecue, doing a little cooking out. But it's a nice time to just get together with family and friends, as we often do on July 4th. So I have an exciting show today. You can see my girl Shalanda B is there right here on the screen with me. Shalanda Boyce. She's New York, New Jersey, because she jumps both. So I'm going to say I don't know if she's in New York or New Jersey today, but
I'm in
she's
Jersey.
in company. You in Jersey?
Yes.
All right. Shalanda is an international cover model, a talk show host. She's a New York City ambassador of the Bridge Plus Size Model Club. She's a public relations person for the Thick and Thicker magazine. She's formerly a radio personality on Hot 914 Radio, where we were co-hosts. And she now has her own podcast on YouTube called Shae with the New Day. Welcome to the show, Shalanda B.
Hey, y'all. I was a little noisy earlier. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm
I
happy
wanted to
that you could
share,
do it.
and I didn't turn down my volume.
Oh,
But
that's
thank you for bringing me onto the show. I'm super excited. Yes, my
girl.
girl Angela Marie is always doing the doggone thing.
I'm like my boo. I've been trying to get Shalanda on this show for about almost a year because
Yeah.
timing and everything, it was a little
I got her
difficult.
on my show.
Yes, I was on her show, but and your show's on Sundays at 5 p.m., right?
It's at 5 p.m. But I need to be a lot more consistent because I'm
Oh,
outside busy, and I need to be
I
more
understand.
busier than on my stuff. I'm
That's
just trying to
it.
be supportive to everybody else, but
Right.
I'm gonna follow my sister and be on my game.
Thank you. So I see you doing your thing though. I've been catching a few of your shows. And so I'm very proud of
Yeah.
you what you're doing because we broke off from Hot 914 Radio,
I
and
know.
we started doing our own thing. It's all love for Hot 914. We
That's
always
right.
have
That's right.
love, and shout out to Sean Montgomery.
That's
And
right.
that's it. And all of our Hot 914 Radio family, to Cruz at In the Mix Radio, we want to shout y'all out. It's all love.
Well,
And
Sean and Cruz became DJs, They on
right.
Twix.
Oh, okay. I did see something Sean was posting. I didn't know about Cruz. So that's
Uh-huh.
awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, they doing their
Yeah.
thing.
So see, we're just, it was a separation, but everybody's moving and shaking and we're doing our own things. And we took the skills and everything that we did at Hot 914 for radio, and we just expanded upon it. That's all. So it's all good and it's all love. Shalanda, I was laughing because I was thinking about it's July 4th. And the last time we really hung out was before I had that terrible car accident. And it was July 4th. We went to City Island with Sean and we had some good seafood and we hung out. And it's like, that was like one of my last good outings before my life just
That is
completely
so
changed.
true. Yes. That was
Yes.
our last little good. And we had a good time. We laughed, we
It
talked,
was
we joked. Yes.
it was a great time. So I just was like having that memory as I was thinking about having you on the show today. And I want to do a quick couple updates and then I'm going to read your bio, and then I want to kind of get in the conversation with you. I think like a lot of times we look at the glitz and like we see this beautiful, relentless model a strong, powerful woman, a mother. She's, she's a daughter. She's a sister to so many people. She's one of those friends, like friend till the end, Miss Shalanda Boyce.
That is the
And
truth.
we see
You are my
you and we
friend.
see you in this limelight, but I want to go back a little bit and talk about where you came from, because we want to uplift and encourage other people to, to know that no matter what your circumstances today, that you can move forward and you can get out of tough situations. And
Right.
I just love your story and your strength. So we're going to get into that in just a moment. Couple things I wanted to say. First, please, thoughts and prayers for Mr. Charles Woodford. He was one of our guests. He's the Tai Chi master. I had him on last year. I think it was like the end of November. I had his wife also on. Diane Woodford was on. But Charles has not been doing well. So I ask
Oh,
that you
wow.
all just please positive vibes, thoughts, prayers for him. He's doing much better. I've been getting updates from his wife, but he needs all the prayers that he can get right now. We send our love to the Woodford family, our prayers, and we're asking for God to give him strength and touch him with his healing hand. Also, I wanted to shout out, hold on, former guest. You all remember my favorite fashion designer, because that's the one I mainly model with, Sorobis. And he told us about that catalog, right? So he
Mm-hmm.
started this catalog during the pandemic. I finally got my own copy, guys. So I've been just
Oh,
checking out the catalog. This was a
very nice.
project during COVID while he was stuck in Africa. And so I've just been checking out the catalog. It's a lot of like wonderful, wonderful things in this catalog. And Sorobis did such a great job. There's some of his designs here. So I just wanted to share that with you all really quick. He's going to have some more things coming up. We have some shows coming up. We just got back from LA. We're having another show July 9th in New York. So check him out. Make sure you follow him. He's Sorbis, the company Sorbis USA. You can find him right on Facebook. So I just wanted to shout him out and thank him for bringing a catalog for me all the way from Burkina Faso. All right. So moving right along. The COVID update for today. I did check out Governor Cuomo's website, as always, in New York. Since this show started from the epicenter, I just like to keep the information rolling from the epicenter of New York City. So today's total COVID hospitalizations are at 342. And there were over 67,000 tests reported yesterday, and there were only about 421 that were positive. So that's about a 0.63% total positivity rate. So the numbers are low, and that's great. Sadly, there were 4 fatalities. Our thoughts and prayers, condolences to those families. Also, as far as vaccine is concerned, we have about 72.5% of adult New Yorkers that have received at least one vaccine dose. And that's they also have about 65.9 that have completed their whole vaccine series. So a lot of people are getting vaccinated. There's about 31,000 doses were administered over the past 24 hours. So keep staying safe, y'all. I mean, we know it's a holiday and people are getting together and gathering today. Please be safe. Be mindful of what you do, your surroundings, wash your hands, try to keep some distance. I know it's hard. If you can, wear your mask, but just think like to stay safe. That's all I want to say about that. I'm on coronavirus fatigue, and I am going forward to read Miss Shalanda B's bio. Now, it's a modified version of her bio, but I want to just get some of the quick facts for you. So Shalanda Boyce is an international cover model, talk show host, NYC ambassador of the Bridge Plus Size Model Club, and the public relations person for Thick and Thicker magazine. She was formerly a radio personality on Hot 914 Radio and has recently started her own podcast on YouTube. It's called Shae with a New Day. She went through a traumatic experience in 2015 that changed her life forever. She was broken, hurt, and ashamed, but her children gave her life and strength. That same year led her to fulfill her dream of becoming a model after being invited to a mini fashion show where she was suddenly asked to walk in the show. She was motivated by the other models and encouraged to cast for other shows. So after coming out of domestic violence marriage, being told she would never be anything and feeling broken, to being told she was beautiful and doing photo shoots was a huge overturn. She didn't she still didn't believe until she saw her own photos and cried because she recognized her beauty. She started modeling officially in 2016 and joined a group called BBW Thick and Curvy, known as the Bridge Plus Size Model Club today. She was later named the ambassador for the NYC group. And then I'm having some problems here with my computer. Hold on. Pause. Okay. Early October of 2016, she was announced by Shorty Rock is one of the co-hosts of Girls Night Out on, I think it's Coliseum. It's a Google app on Google Play. Being a part of the show changed her whole mindset. The Girls Night Out show was recorded in an office-like setting and at fashion shows. By 2017, she became a campaign model in the NYC Sexy Curvy Divas competition, where she joined the competition. It was the greatest thing she had ever done for herself, and she began to love herself again, and she became a different woman and loved her and named her Shalanda B. In May 2018, she was a guest host on the Underground Entertainment Network Presents show on BronxNet Television. She graciously accepted the opportunity and was asked to be a host, and she hosted her own show called Sashaying on the Runway with Shalanda B. In April 2019, she called to schedule an interview with Sean Montgomery. He agreed and asked her to come on his radio show as a guest. She enjoyed the atmosphere and later signed a contract and started to learn the entertainment business on Hot 914, where she met artists from the Wu family and celebrities such as Lisa and Jack the Thriller. On June 14th, 2019, she designed her very first shoe. As of now, she has 12 styles, including sneakers. She named the brand Just Be by Shalanda B. So I'm going to stop there because she has like such a phenomenal bio, but I want to just like let her share some other things with us. And there's an excerpt from part of her bio that I'm going to read a little bit later because it's very pertinent to one of my questions. So, Shalanda, how are you and your family amidst this whole COVID-19 pandemic?
I mean, like, with everybody, COVID is annoying. Like, I wish it go away, but
Right.
it's not. It's still here. I have a son that has asthma, but he's grown. He has to move around. He has to get to work and back and forth. So we're doing, like you said at the beginning, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer when you're going in and out of cars. Being that we moved to Jersey, we take a lot of lifts because the train station is far from where we live at. And we need a car. But, to be safe, everybody moving around different hours. We have to take the right precautions and, wash your hands, which is part of the whole hygiene, guys. We got to wash our hands.
Yeah, that's
a lot of
it.
people been walking around not washing their hands, and this is how this whole thing spreaded. But we're getting through it. My mom had COVID in February. We got through it. She survived it. It was a touch and go situation, but she's here. And my brother did too because he lived in the same household, but he works as a health profession. So that's how she contacted the COVID virus. But we working it out. And we doing what we got to do to take the right precautions and keep healthy. Scary though.
Yeah, that's good. So I'm glad. So you didn't contract the virus, correct?
No, at the time when I went to go help her out, I had the first vaccine I took the first shot for the vaccine. And then later on, I went and had the next vaccine at the end of the month. But it still was scary, Good thing I did have the vaccine. I had to take a leave from work because I was exposed to COVID. But when I went to go get my testing done, I tested negative, which was awesome. But I was still scared. I was scared about losing my mom and, her going home and,
that's a lot of stress.
passing away like a lot of people were doing, but she made it, and I'm happy and I'm grateful. Thank to God. Thank you, God. I prayed first and then sent out the memo like, listen, I need more prayers, because you got to
Yes,
pray first, then send out that memo for everybody else to pray as well. But she's
that's
safe
good.
and I'm happy and healthy and still doing what she do best, which is getting on me to stay and do what I got to do. It is what it is.
That's good. That's what moms are there for,
That's
to
what they are there for.
keep you going. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome. So let me ask you too, because you had the vaccine, like how did it go? Did you suffer any symptoms, side effects, anything like that when you got vaccinated?
The first shot, no. It just was like a little burning in the arm and then it went away like the next day. The second shot, I felt like I had the symptoms of COVID, which I think that's what it was supposed to do.
Okay.
So I had most of the symptoms, cold, feeling like I had fever, chills,
Okay.
pain in the arm, like pain throughout my body and feeling very dry throat and dehydrated. So I kept making sure I had water next to me. I didn't have an appetite. Yes, I went through the whole symptoms of it.
Oh,
But
wow.
what was weird was the next day, like after that second day of getting this, from the shot, by 12 o'clock, I felt great. Like I
Okay.
had a
That's good
burst
then.
of energy. It was so weird. Like I got a shot of vitamin C, and I was like, "Yay!" I was felt like a baby, miserable for like 2 days, but then I was great. Like the next day, it
Okay.
was weird.
That's good then. I mean, that's good to hear because I've heard some horror stories and I've heard people that say they don't have any symptoms or, any side effects. And I heard
Well,
some
it
people
depends on which one you get done. Yeah.
got you. Because a lot of people just say they're sleepy. They get really sleepy and
Right.
yeah.
Right. I think it
So,
depends on your anatomy, like how your body works with medication and stuff. But
right.
I'm dramatic, so I think I had the dramatic role because I was dramatic, and
Which one did you get?
I got Moderna.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha. All
yeah,
right. So that, I mean, people will probably have kind of a similar, effect if they get Moderna. I know I'm hearing that the Johnson now they're saying there needs to be a booster. So I think a lot of people got Johnson because they were like, oh, it's only one shot. But now they're saying, oh, well, we got this Delta variant coming, so we need to give you a booster.
yeah, but I noticed that the older people are getting either Johnson and Johnson, but then they had that little setback with Johnson and Johnson, so a lot of them are getting Pfizer, which is I think it's still 2 shots, but they don't have
Mhm.
any symptoms, so it works out
Okay.
great.
Okay, so that's good to know.
I
So,
learned all this from my patients at work, so
right. And you're also an essential worker. So we thank you for all
Yeah.
your work during this pandemic.
That's what everybody else doesn't
Hero.
think. But I feel like the nurses get all the props because they had to deal with everyone being sick, and
Right.
going through the whole. But I mean, like, yeah, we are essential workers, but we doing the dental thing.
Got you. All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about I want to go back to 2015 now, where you talked
Hmm.
about having a traumatic experience in your bio where I read. And I want to read this part. I want you to talk about it, but I'm gonna read this part and of the bio that I did not read. And
Okay.
then I just want you to share whatever that you would like to share what's on your heart about that experience. Okay. So, quoting Shalanda, my experience of being in a domestic violence relationship wasn't just physical, it was emotional and resulted in me having a mental breakdown. I asked God to give me sight of what I could see and clarity of what I couldn't understand. I was later blessed with sight and understanding, and that was when I was able to fight for my freedom. I took my life back. I looked myself in the eyes and said, you have to live as for today and for every other day is your last. Never let anyone say you can't do anything. I am pushing forward in my life knowing I am here for a reason. I decided I wanted to be a voice for women or men. I want people to know that they can be more than what they believe. I didn't allow myself to be bitter and chose to forgive and let go. We all have a choice. That woman I was in 2012 through 2015, she is no longer broken or saddened by what she has been through. The realization of surviving being raped, physically and emotionally abused is no longer her, my life. I am a survivor. I am alive and breathing, and I am stronger than I was ever before. Girl, that sounds like a book. And I was like, Shalanda, I don't know if you're working on a book, but it sounds like you need
I
to be
don't know.
writing a
Everybody
book.
said that I should do a book, but I
Yeah,
mean, it would take a lot from me. It'd take my energy, because
right,
dwelling on it hurts. But I speak on it for other women that go through it. There's women that don't know they're being abused, and
right.
I speak on it because I want it's a lot of young girls, and I always say abuse is taught. It's taught, and it could be you could be the one that's being abused, or you could be the one that's the abuser, but it's taught. But what I went through, it was traumatic, but a lot of people can't come out of it like I did. I had to come up with a plan to get out of it, and what I used was, he used to like to prey on women online, and
Mm,
you had women that wouldn't listen to you. There was one that actually stalked me on social media. I knew eventually he was going to leave and be with her. She wasn't going to listen to nothing that I said. Um, but then, you know, me being as nurturing as I am, and me caring about other women, what I did was I still reached out. I still said stuff to her, and I told her her family was in danger. Not only was he a sexual predator, but he liked women with children. I don't know what that was about.
mhm.
But if it you need to spread the word. Hey, this guy is not a good guy. You're thinking that you stole someone's man, but no, really, you brought a predator into your home, and you need to be safe.
Mm,
I find a lot of women today think it's a joke, and I get attacked a lot of times where women feel insecure about themselves, and okay, because you model. Women feel insecure. They see a man looking at another woman on Facebook or social media. They feel some kind of way about you. So they attack you. They say things to you. Or if you friends with a male and they wife is not a model, and they looking at our curves, and they want to bring you down and make you feel bad because they think that would keep their man from looking at you. Um, but I still motivate them. You're beautiful. So when you come at me, and I'm going to say it out loud, if you come at me thinking I'm going to fight back and yell, no, I'm just going to tell you that you are great. You are awesome. You are beautiful. Because a lot of women fight back with pettiness instead of fighting back with kind words. Because if you feed them with kindness, then you get back, they're shut down, because that's not what they're getting to hear. So that's what I'm here to do, is to motivate women to stop being petty. it, you know
right.
Men do stuff, they greedy, and and I'm not saying just men are predators, because you have women out there that are predators too. um but we have to motivate one another and stay strong. I think I
Yeah,
lost you. Oh, there you go.
no, I'm here.
we have we
Yes.
have to motivate one another and stay strong. And what happened to me, I felt like, this can't this gotta stop. And I think what happened when I got in that fashion show, it was supposed to get to my head. I was supposed to take it in and move forth with it. A family member asked me to model in a fashion show, and I said I could utilize this to be so much more than just a model. And then when I got into when I started working with Shorty Rock with the Coliseum, his
Mm-hmm.
ad was, "Do you want to be more than just a model?" And it was like, this is God talking to me. Like, I
Yes.
said I want to be more than just a model. So everything I do, I'm asking God, should I do it? So he plants these seeds. He
Right.
gives me something to feed people, to spread the word about domestic violence. I use it for just that. Next is coming up to, I want to do a fundraising for next year for women that's in shelters, and children that's with their parents. whether it's a male or a female, because yes, men do get abused by females. A lot of people don't see it like that, but they go through verbal abuse. Some women are addicts. They hurt and they hurt their family. So yes,
Right.
there are men that are in domestic violent relationships with children and trying to get their family together. So I really want to be a help of that. And that's what I use that domestic violence platform for. 2015 was traumatic for me. And it took me a lot to get out of that marriage. I had to find the man, to divorce the man. But I was determined because I knew that I had to get out of that situation. I couldn't be linked to a person that was a predator. And when I say raped, he hurt me, he abused me to cause me to take medication. And while I was under the influence of that medication, he would take pictures of me in my nude. He would take my clothes off. I would wake up and my clothes would be all over the place. He would make it seem like he didn't do any of those things for me, but your body, because you feel like something was down there and you didn't do nothing. You don't have no remembrance of what happened. So when I would ask, he would laugh, and then one day I found photos of myself in his phone. My breast was exposed. I was knocked out unconscious, sleeping from the meds that I was taking. I'm not a person that would take drugs. So me being on these muscle relaxers was knocking me out because I couldn't see because of the insomnia and the trauma that it was from the, the strangulation of him and other things that he would do to me. He would take his hand and while I'm sleeping, he would, lean his body on my body, so there was no circulation. So to this day I have no circulation through my legs. I suffer from circulation issues, so they have to constantly monitor my veins to see if the blood is running through them and flowing the way they're supposed to. I may not look like what my body go through, but my body goes through a lot. To this day, I'm doing it for my girl and Tara, but I did not feel good last night. I wasn't able to make it to an event. But I'm home today, so I didn't have to cancel on you because we online. I'm gonna crawl back in that bed, girl, and rest. I'm dealing with migraines and all that stuff. But we as women have to stay strong. How did I get out that?
You would be in pain. You would be in pain. And I would be like, oh, I'm dealing with this. And you would be like, Angela, push. Like, even when I was in that car accident and I would just be trying to get around you, be like, Angela, you could do it. Push. Like, I know what you're going through. Like, I have pain every day. And nobody would know that to look at you. And nobody would know that to see the way that you move. Because you make moves. You don't let it stop you. And I would admire you for that. That's that strength, that resilience, that courage. Like, that's true freedom is what I see when I see
it is freedom. Yes. And I mean, the best way to get away from your predator is because I call them predators, because that's exactly what they do. When they preying on your spirit, they preying on your soul. And I think it is an illness when a person is abusive. It's a demon inside of them that causes them to do all the things that they're doing. But they're not strong enough to fight it. But my way of getting out of it is, what I did was I used his weakness and I got out. I found ways to make him think it was working. But when he wasn't around, I was living my best life. I got my weight to come down. I was weighing close to 300 pounds. And I wasn't healthy. That wasn't good for my condition. I listened to my doctors. I let him listen to what the doctors were saying. And then I would tell him, that's because of what you did to me. You hurt me. And he couldn't deal with that. So I needed to say it. And I needed to start speaking up for myself. And yes, we're afraid we're going to get hit. We're going to be hurt. And he tried to use that emotional thing to hurt me, to make me feel bad. I was later called the loser. I could never be nothing. You never going to be nobody. You going to be able to do nothing. You need a better, meanwhile, this is a man that don't got no job. But he telling me what I ain't going to be. Meanwhile, I'm working. So what I did was I made journals. I wrote down those things that he said. And what I did was I reversed it and said what I was doing. And that's how I made I had to do that for myself. I couldn't let my husband, my husband wasn't doing that. So I needed to do it myself because I was married to my predator. And once he left, I found him. I couldn't do an investigation because when I went to go and get an investigator, remember I told you the story. The investigator was the cousin. I was referred to somebody, and they referred me to them. And when I got there, the cousin was there. This man was at my wedding. I was like, oh my God, the devil is a liar. So I went and did it myself.
Right.
I'm getting out of this. And being determined to get out of a situation, and it worked, and I was happy. Even though I was investigating, people felt like I was being a stalker. I didn't care. I had to do what I needed to do to get out of my situation and not be locked and linked to a person that, nobody understands. And people be like, well, he's gone. Yeah, but I'm still married to him. My last name says his last name. I'm still walking around with this man's last name. And if anything happens to me, he could take all my benefits.
Right.
So people don't see it like that. So you're going to get paid for what you did to me?
You want freedom.
So you want freedom. And that's what it's all about. Some people are married still to this day to someone that left them years ago, but it's not freedom. You're not able to move on to be happy with someone else and to live a better life, especially when you're trying to make money,
Yeah,
so
I feel you, because I was there before. Like when I went through my divorce, it wasn't that I wanted to be divorced because I was looking for somebody. I just wanted my freedom. Like I wanted to be able to say, I'm no longer attached to this individual, you know? So I 100% understand that. And I notice a lot of people, they separate for years and years and years, but I don't understand why they wouldn't just go ahead and get their freedom, Because
they don't know how to. They don't know what to do. Gotcha. They're told they can't do it. Remember, you're being told you're a loser. You can't do nothing. You ain't about it. And meanwhile, you working. You have a job, you have a life, and it happens. You're believing what that person is saying to you. You're believing that person is right because your self-esteem is being torn apart. Your well-being is being torn apart. And they're just like, they're jealous of you. So when people are jealous, they tell you what you are not. What you are not. You are better than them. And they hate it. They hate you. But they say they love you, but it's really hatred. And they really hate themselves. And because they can't be what you are and what you're about. And it took a while for me because I spit nothing but life into him, but he kept stripping me away. So can you imagine you putting life into somebody and the person is taking it away from you?
Raining.
They telling you a loser.
Right. So but I think I want to say that about what you just said, because you talked about how you wrote down in a journal everything that he said you were, you negated it. And that's something that we do in my prayer group, a little similar, like we write down affirmations. And I think it's important. There may be somebody watching, and it's a battle of the mind is what it really comes down to. Take a notebook. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. But everything that you want to be, even if you don't see it yourself, write it down and repeat it to yourself every day, because that gives you strength and it turns around the situation. Just like people talk about how you speak to your children. Like when you speak to your children and you tell them, oh, you're stupid. I told you to do this. You're never going to amount to nothing. You're speaking curses is what those things are. All of those negative things that come out are curses. And we have the power to speak things into existence. When we say these things, we're making declarations. So be very careful what comes out of your mouth, because it's no problem. What comes out of your mouth, it actually can become those things, whether you spoke it or somebody else speaks it. So when somebody speaks something negative to you, remember who you are. Remember who God said you are. And if you can't remember that, think about where you want to be. What do you want out of life? And declare those things. Just speak those things until you actually see it come into fruition. And that's a powerful thing that Shalanda did. So I just wanted to emphasize on that for a moment, because it's something that's very helpful, and it's a lot of power behind your words.
Am I
So
lopsided? Because I'm really trying to charge this phone.
no, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
And while
But
we've been
yeah.
talking about this, about domestic violence and sexual assault, I want to share the numbers. You all know I've had a couple of guests on before. We talked about these things, but there may be someone watching today that is trying to figure out how to get out of their situation. And that's why I wanted Shalanda to share so that you could hear how she fought and how she got out of her situation. There is hope and there are ways to get out. And there are also these hotlines that you can call that there's people that can help you to make the next step. So RAIN is one of the organizations. It's actually the nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization, and they operate a national sexual assault hotline. Their number is 1-800-656-HOPE. That's 1-800-656-HOPE. And HOPE is actually 4673. So it's 800-656-4673. Give them a call if you're in a situation, and the calls are anonymous. And I'm also going to give you all the National Domestic Violence Hotline. It's a 24/7 hotline where you can speak with someone where they can try to help you get into a safe place. And it's 1-800-799-7233. 1-800-799-7233. And I'll share those on the screen actually, because you might not have been able to pick that up. But I just want you all to just be mindful that you don't have to stay in a bad situation. It may seem like there's no way out, but there's always a way out. So please use those numbers, reach out to somebody. If you can't make the call, a family member, a friend, someone else might be able to make the call for you. So even if you don't need the number, you might know somebody that needs those numbers. You might know someone that needs help. So just be mindful of those things, please. And if we can help one another, let's help one another so that we can get out of bad situations and move forward and have the best lives that we can have here on the earth, because Jesus came that we might have life and that we might have life more abundantly. He didn't want us to suffer. He didn't want us to go through these kind of things. But we have to know that we deserve better, because sometimes we might feel like we brought this upon ourselves or it's our fault. Our abusers will tell us these kind of things, but it's not true. You could get into situations that you were not aware of, but it's not your fault when someone abuses you. It's not your fault when someone hurts you. What is your fault is if you stay and allow it to continue. That's when it becomes your fault. You have to take the initiative to do something about it. Okay, so I just wanted to take a moment and do that public service announcement. I have the information on the screen, so you all can take down those numbers, and I'll also put them up again for you all a little later in the show. Shalanda, thank you for really hitting on that, and thank you for your courage, to share. To really share, because it's difficult, but I thank God to see that you came out of this situation and you came out without being broken. You came out without being bitter, because that's half the battle. Getting out is the first half of the battle, but then changing your mind in the way that you see things and being victimized, trying to undo those things, is the second half of the battle. So I really do appreciate that you shared that with us.
Thank you for
So
having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And I really do hope that it helps. My words help those that are, going through domestic violence, that's trying to figure out their way out. You got to have a plan to exit. You have to. It may take a little longer than what you expect or what you think, but you got to have a plan, and you keep it to yourself. You don't tell nobody your plan, because
right.
people think that they're helping. They want to see you be happy, but they really don't know what you're going through and what your experience is. And 9 to 10 times, they're actually going through the same thing. They just don't know it. They
That's
think
it.
it'll pass, but it's not.
That's it. So, on a more lighter note, what I love is that after this bad experience, it catapulted you into fulfilling your childhood dream of modeling, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And that's so awesome. So I know
It
about
did.
your experience with the Bridge Plus Size Model Club. Tell us about that, and how did you get
Um,
recruited?
so I was hit up by a woman that actually does, like, she has a boutique, and she's no longer with the bridge. But what I did was, she asked me if I would be interested. I said sure, because the whole thing is for you to recruit women. I said sure. What is it about? So she told me it was about domestic violence. I'm like, wow, I didn't even mention that I was in a domestic violence marriage or relationship, and that happened again. God stepping, putting you in the right steps.
Right.
I did learn a lot from them. They did fundraising for people. So within that circle, people were struggling. And what I admired the most about them was that they lifted one another up. So if you needed money or you needed help, and they didn't have much, but okay, so this bridge program is women all over the world, you know,
Mhm.
so in different states. So they
Okay.
helped one another. So if you were in a situation, and we had a young lady, she was abused by her children's father, and everybody came up with money. They sent her money, they cashed that money to her. And she
Mhm.
recently, I kept in contact with her. So recently she's getting her own place. She found God. She's doing a lot better than what she was doing. She moved
Praise
from one state to the next. So she moved from Philly to New York City, and she's doing a lot better. Her kids are beautiful. I actually interviewed her on my show, and I
yes.
wanted her to tell her story. She's an evangelist now, and I'm really, really proud of
I
her.
heard that interview. That was an awesome
Yeah,
interview too.
yeah, she had me singing and everything, girl. You know I don't be singing, but she picked the song and everything. God.
Yeah.
I was like, she gonna have me singing this song. I don't feel like singing, but it brought me closer to God, because I was like, I haven't sung in a while.
Yes.
But you do what you got to do to motivate others to continue to be an inspiration to other people, and that's what it is. Just taking steps to keep people from going down and just going up. Um, but the bridge was an amazing. It's still an amazing group. But now it's just women working together, doing their businesses, and helping one another. You sell this, I sell that. Let me buy this. Let me get you this, and they're trying to survive. They make baskets. They do all kinds of fundraising for one another, and it's just great. I tell anybody to be part of it. Sometimes people get distracted because we are human. So we get distracted. We do stuff that's out of character, but it is what it is. But it's a great foundation to improve and know where you want to be at. The woman that does the is in charge of the group, the CEO, her name is Terry Perry. So
Okay.
she's great. I love Tina Perry. I'm sorry, I tore her name up. I got a serious headache. Her name is
That's
Tina
okay.
Perry.
Hmm.
Um, but she's there, and if you need to talk and you're going through something, they had a conference call at some point, but I think they stopped it because they weren't getting a lot of feedback from it. A lot of people wasn't calling in.
Okay.
Um, um, it's something that needs to be worked on, but they were trying new things to just, connect with people to help them get through their situation.
Okay.
But it was a great program, and well, great team. It is a team, and they do stick together. Sometimes they meet up. I think they got something coming up recently. It's a whole photo shoot coming up. And if you want to look, you can go on Tina Perry's um, page, and you'll
Hmm.
find her, because it's just, or look up the bridge, and you'll find the Bridge Club. And just call the bridge because it's a bunch of women. Sometimes they incorporate men, and sometimes Tina has like topics, relationships.
Right.
Things to help people get through what they're going through. Sometimes people don't know how to be in a relationship, you know,
Right.
and we could be a cause of us being in the domestic violence situation because of the people that we want to be with. Some men are not great. They want to control your life. They want to tell you what to do. They want to
Hmm.
tell you how to spend your money. So I think she does have like a little show that she does in reference to um relationships and just to talk about it. You know, what's the
Okay.
right choice and what's not the right choices. So yeah,
Good. So you
they
can
have they have
identify.
yeah, they have all kinds of stuff that they do, and all of them are doing different things. You know,
Okay.
health issues is you know, being curvy. You know, they used to be called thick and curvy. That's what they used to be called, but then they changed it to the Bridge Club because they were building a bridge to help others.
Awesome. That's an awesome program. Like we definitely need more things like that.
We do need more things like that.
Uplift and encourage one another. So shout out to the Bridge Club and everybody that's involved with that organization. And thank you for what you're doing for women all across the country.
Hmm.
So then after you started with the Bridge Club, you did the NYC Sexy Divas competition. That was with Tony Young, right?
Yes, it was with
Yeah,
Tony
shout out
Young.
to Tony.
Yeah. The person that organized it name was Levy Paul,
Hmm.
and he put everybody together. But Tony was telling him, "Hey, you need to get these," because he dealt with petite models.
Okay.
But then he Tony showed him that curvy models could do some great stuff. So, you know,
Yes.
yeah, she definitely led us in the right direction. It was great. It was
Uh,
nerve-wracking because I never been in a competition in my life, but I
uh-huh.
learned a lot. I learned a lot. I learned about competing. I don't ever want to compete again. But
That's why I didn't do it. I was like, yeah, I don't think I really want to compete. I just love
um
everybody.
what I did learn was that I was not a runway model. I am a print model. So you know, you gotta learn your place as a model, and it's different
Right.
models. But I did learn that I wasn't a print model. I'm a print I mean a runway model. I'm a print model, and it worked. And I learned that from Sean because he was like, "You're not runway. You are a print model." So well, he made me a print model. He actually made me an international print model. So it
Uh-huh.
is
I
what
see
it
that.
is. It
That's
is what it
awesome.
is.
Yes. I thought that was pretty cool. Actually, I want to see, can I do this, right? I want to try to share a screen because I
Okay.
came across some stuff online. I'm loving StreamYard, y'all. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm loving StreamYard. Um, I just started using
Well, you was
StreamYard.
always computer savvy, so
Girl, I try. I'll be like, how do we do this? So I want to see if I can make this screen come up because that would be fun. You're gonna laugh if I can pull it off. I'm always ready to try. Like, hey, let me try. Let's see what happens.
what
Now let's see. Did it work?
the heck?
I have a blank screen right now.
It's me, it's me.
That's on purpose. Okay.
Oh.
I'm changing the screen. I want to share the screen. Because I found Shalanda.
Oh my god. What are you doing over there in zero? What are
Let's
you
see.
doing?
Can we see it? This is Shalanda.
In the front row, sit down, please. Get down in the front row.
Hilarious.
There's Shalanda in the
I
sexy
had to snatch the guy up with me. He was
model
like, I'm coming with
competition.
you.
Fierce. She's fierce, y'all. You see that? Yes. I was like, I had to pull this up because I was just having fun. I was like, I see this woman. This is like her first competition. And
It
she is
was.
here just fierce as she can be. Like just born to do this. I
I
swear,
was
she's
like, well,
just
let me
born
just
to do
do
it.
it. That's my
You,
you, but you know that. That's always my attitude. Oh well, I'm
you did
nervous.
it.
I'm gonna have to do it.
You did it, girl. So I was like, I wanted to share this screen because that was like a whole video. What was going on, Shalanda? Tell us.
I was like, I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna wear my outfit. I'm gonna do my thing. I was so nerve wracked though. I really was. But that guy, did you see the hunk?
I saw it. She was like,
He
come
said,
on, boy.
he said,
Let
he was talking to me, he said, I'm going to work with you. I said, good. I need some strength.
She said, what?
He
Boy,
gave me
come
some
on over
life.
here.
I said,
Let me show
shoot.
you what we doing here.
Yeah, he
So that's
did
Shalanda
too.
B in the sexy diva model competition. I just wanted to share that for fun. So you're still
Funny.
modeling, right?
I do, but I do more print stuff. I haven't been submitting, but I have been shooting. I'm lying. I just was in a magazine. No, I don't remember the name. I'm terrible.
Oh, that's
Um,
okay.
it's horrible. But I'm surprised you didn't find that. But
Ah,
I just was in a magazine. Actually, let me just stop being so unprofessional and actually use my iPad
because you got the
because
info.
it's up there. Yeah.
Well, while you look for that, I want to ask you, like, how have things changed? Like, how have you had to pivot in doing what you do? Because modeling, we got a lot of crowds. We work very close together. So, what are some things that you've had to change in doing the modeling because of the pandemic?
Um, I really didn't change anything. I just leaned more on my YouTube channel.
Hmm.
And then I just really started to network. I just took the time to network, learn, and push forward because I didn't want, I had to remember what my platform was. It's not just modeling. It was more
Right.
so of just being an inspiration to others and not giving up. So I needed to continue to push forward. And then, like, you shoot, you submit. If it goes in the magazine, and remember, anybody that models, sometimes your stuff don't go in the magazine right away. They hold your photos, and then they
Right.
pull it out when they want to, depending on what they're talking about their magazine. So I had to really just wait for it and see what happens, and
Yeah.
it worked. And I love it, and I kept modeling. I shoot with a lot with Sean, but he hasn't been
Mhm.
shooting. Now he's doing something else. But I started working with new photographers and getting
Okay.
out there and just continue to climb up. But mostly I use the modeling as a way of pushing my platform, YouTube,
Right.
motivational speaking, and you do have to change your transition as you grow.
Hmm.
We get older, especially like I started modeling late. It doesn't mean that you're older you can't model because I just
Right.
finished telling somebody you don't have to be a teenager to model. You could do a lot of different things. And I did just that, just a lot of different things. Now I just hosted, I hosted an event, um, and it was great. It
The
was
all white
great.
event, right?
It was a what? What'd you say?
All white event.
It wasn't all well, yeah, it wasn't all on event. Um, but it was great. Like I met some interesting people, models, designers, and I was frantic. I'm frantic about everything. But I got up on that stage, I called people out, I started interviewing people inside the
Yeah.
audience. I was just bothering everybody. I was like, you know what? I'm scared. But let me just
That's
do this. Let
okay.
me just show this to everybody real quick. It's called Social Shutterfly Magazine. Can I
Okay.
turn this? I don't even know how to do this. And Jimmy got me on here doing all kinds of stuff. Um, but it's called Shutterfly, Social
Uh-huh.
Shutterfly Magazine. They had a,
Okay.
a all red thing. I still don't know how to do this.
Let me
Let me
see.
see if I could. Well, maybe because Angela did her whole fancy footwork stuff, so maybe I could
I try. I try. It's
too.
called
I don't
social
know.
butterfly.
It's called Social Butterfly.
Oh, social.
Um, but I try. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I need to. I'm gonna throw it in your inbox. Maybe that'll work. I don't know.
Okay. You got
Um,
Facebook inbox?
yes.
Okay, do that.
Um, but it was a great
Pick it up.
experience. I worked with a photographer
Mm-hmm.
named Kareem Johnson. He is
Okay, I know Kareem.
awesome. He's here in Jersey, and
Okay.
It was
I
great.
did see that picture. I did see that on your Facebook.
And
Uh-huh.
the designer, her name is look, my head hurts so bad. Y'all please forgive me. Aisha Princess Malloy. And
Uh-huh.
I just happened to show up to support another friend, Tarisha Tig Hicks. And that girl threw some clothes on me and said, "You taking pictures too?" And I was like, "Oh, come on. Like, I didn't come here. My hair ain't right." I just figured, let me just do my makeup and get myself together. And I was just there to style everybody because that's another thing I learned to do is style,
Okay.
you know. So I did
This
some
is Shalanda.
styling and it was fun. So I figured
Nice.
let me just help everybody, you know, help Kareem with the background and how things looked. And it turned
Mm-hmm.
out pretty nice. He got some really nice shots. And me and Tarisha ended up in a couple of magazines.
Okay.
Always
Shout out
shout
to
out to
Tarisha. I
Shae.
miss Tarisha. I
Yeah.
remember when we did the shoot-a-thon with Don Pittman. We were
Uh-huh.
all at the shoot-a-thon, shooting away. But I feel like, I'm not good at the print model stuff. I think I do better with runway. But
You
you
are,
were
yeah, you are a runway model, definitely. And I used to always say, I'm not doing runway because one, my feet hurt all the time, and
my
I'm
feet
just being
hurt too,
honest.
girl.
Yeah,
But
you always
I
say
just
that.
grin and bear it. But this is really hot. I got the pictures here, Social Shutterfly magazine, and all red. And we see Miss Shalanda B, fierce as can be.
I try. I love you,
I love it.
Tara.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow Miss Shalanda B. She's
Yes,
doing some
please
amazing
do.
things.
And if
Let me
anybody
get
want
out
to
this
collab,
stuff.
let's do it.
Yes,
Let's do it.
definitely.
I
We got it.
love fashion. I just love it.
And she's good at it, y'all. She's good at it.
And
So
Jira too. She trying to slide out of fashion, but she love it too.
I love it though. I try. I try. But
African princess.
I'm
Yes,
Africa loves me, so I'm kind of sticking with Africa. And
you
they don't try to
better.
put I try to cover myself up because more and more, as my relationship grows with Christ, it's not like it's not a thing of I'm not shooting anybody down that if you do things that are kind of more exposing, but I'm trying to back away from that. So I
Yep.
had that
I
shot
totally hear you.
with Sean. I was in my two piece. It went in Shazzle's
Shazzle.
magazine. I liked the shot, but now I have to say, okay, is that pleasing to God? Okay, maybe that's not the right thing I should be doing right now. It's nothing wrong with it, but I'm moving more in towards ministry, so I have to kind of tone down the things that I'm doing because I don't want to give the wrong perception.
And it's totally understandable. The young lady I interviewed, she was
The
saying the same thing.
evangelist.
She did a letter. Yeah, she did a lot
Uh-huh.
of provocative photos, and she said she wanted to just bring it down, tone it down, or just like take it away. So I said, yeah, but I don't want you to take away modeling because you can still model
Right. You just
and
have to pick
be
and
walking
choose.
with Christ. I said you could do photo shoots and everything. You could wear a gown, you know.
Right.
Um, my
Because there's
last shoot,
also a
I did
marketplace
something
in
like that.
ministry. You know,
Right.
being in the marketplace is important in every area. God is not only in certain markets, He's in every market, and
He
His
is.
children are part of every market. So it's still important to be there because I remember being at fashion shows and being backstage, and there was situations going on. Suddenly, someone fell sick, or somebody's just going through some emotional stuff, and being in that place and being able to talk with that person, encourage them, pray with
Right.
them, that means more to me than the show. And
Right.
honestly, that means more to me because that person, what they needed, that could only come from God in that moment. Just being able to be there and intercede. It's not about me, it's about Him, and it's about His will, and it's about His love. So that I love that, and I love being on the platform that because people see you on a platform, now they're more receptive to hear what it is that you have to say.
Exactly. And you utilize your platform. And like it's great that we're talking about the subject of when you change your lifestyle and you're walking with Christ, and you start to figure out like, well, how am I going to take these steps because I love what I do? You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to take off all your clothes. You could,
Right.
you could wear gowns. There's different fashion. There's different styles. There's different
Mm-hmm.
things you could wear. You do African attire.
Yes.
They have a lot of gowns. They have a lot of long skirts. You
Right.
know, they have
Dressy,
two
real dressy
pieces.
stuff.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be a little off the shoulders, or sometimes you could keep
Mhm.
it on your shoulder, whatever that stylist would prefer, but you're still covered. As long as you're not showing bosom or booty cracks or any of those things,
Right.
it's a respect. And I think if you want your followers to transition too, because I get a lot of European followers, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them, they hit me up. They'll say, I want you to do this. I want to see this. And when I say this, they're talking about provocative stuff. They'll
Mm-hmm.
call me up on Messenger to talk about, them being able to do stuff with me. So I just block them. You gotta
Right.
disattach yourself from certain things, and then you have to figure out, well, what are you doing? I won't say wrong, but what are you doing to attract that type of energy? Sometimes they just
Right.
pervert it. They just want to
And
corrupt you
that's
with the
it.
nonsense.
And so,
Right.
like, biblically speaking, I don't want to cause others to sin because of my actions. Even though
Right.
I feel I'm sexy and I'm beautiful, but I don't have to show that to everybody. Like
Right.
I could still be
Right.
sexy in clothes. And a provocative sexy may be causing people to take things to another mental level because of how they see me. They see my skin, they see my curves. I mean, curves are sexy. So
Right.
um, if I make a conscious effort to not expose myself so much, I think it helps people to see me, like, because then if people see you, like if you're in Playboy, right? You pose in Playboy. People see you in Playboy. When they see you in person, their mindset of you is a sexual mindset. And when you have something serious to say, they're not even going to be receptive because they're seeing you in a certain light. Not that you did anything wrong, but it's the light that they see you in. And it's hard, like when you want to transition out of that and you want people to see the other things, that you want them to see your intelligence, you want them to see all of the other good qualities that you have. Sometimes it kind of blocks, especially men. I'm just gonna say, like, especially men. I love y'all, but that one way mindset. So I
Like,
just
oh, she took off her clothes. What happened to them other sexy outfits? But
right.
honestly speaking, I've had a man who basically just helps women and other professionals online. He's in Afghanistan,
Mm-hmm.
and he will send you some work, and he'll tell you, he'll be honest with you. He'll say, you need to do more of this, and it's not sexual stuff. He'll tell
Mm-hmm.
you, you this need to come out because you're doing this, so it doesn't make sense with this, and it makes so much sense. And it's
Oh,
like,
that's good.
you have to make sense in your
Right.
career. So you can't be provocative and then you want to go be churchy later. If you're gonna take away the provocative stuff, then you gotta take it away because your career needs to make sense, because you just look
That's
like
it.
you're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be churchy and then you being graunchy in another photo.
Right.
Every photo that we take as models, everything needs to make sense. Rather, if someone took the picture of you, you have to make sense. You
Right.
can't, if you're trying to appear one way in social media. Social media is social media. So, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
with my friends, so I could be like this. No, you're gonna have to tone it down, because if you want to make money, you're gonna have to appear a lot better than what you're looking
Mm-hmm.
in any photo that you take. So that's something
That's
that I
it.
learned about photo taking. Whether it's a cell phone picture or if it's a professional picture, I need
Right.
to make sense. I
That's
can't look
it.
like I'm all over the place.
Yeah, we got to be mindful of the image and what we portray. So I
Especially if
think
you're a
that's so cool.
motivational speaker.
That's it. That's it. So So
What are
on
you
motivation.
motivating?
Yes,
Right.
you're motivating.
Yeah.
And then you doing just not also you're doing the motivational speaking, you're doing the modeling. And you gotta tell me about the shoes. Cause I remember when the Just Be shoe brand, it was just one design. And I said, oh, I see Shalanda B. She's, stepping into the designing and stuff. Now you have 12. Girl, where did you get that creative inspiration?
Well, COVID.
Hey, you had time, right?
During quarantine time, I was like, well, you know what? Let me get up and make another type of shoe.
Yes.
But it's just, you have things that you want to do. Now I'm kind of shifting into like making clothes for the shoes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a fashion show probably next year. So everything is I'm working on for next year. And Jerry,
Okay,
get
let me
ready.
know.
Right,
I
get
have to come to
ready.
New York.
Yes. And I really want to start branching off and taking off and doing different things and working with different people in
Mhm.
different states, even different countries. I learned that from you. Sometimes we got to come out of our comfort zone. This
Yeah.
whole modeling thing has been me coming out of my comfort zone. I went from being a quiet church mother to being a woman of fashion and still holding on to dear life to Christ because I'm like, I need you because I wouldn't be here if
Yes.
it wasn't for you. Um, but that's what I learned about it. Shifting, being motivating, and pushing people forward to do better things. I came up with a lot of different ideas during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
quarantine time. It was shoes. It was on my own business to
Right.
make Shae with a New Day platform go further than what it is. It is about
Yes.
me coming up. Shae is my nickname. A
Uh-huh.
new day is what I did was
Right.
to start a new day. Every day is a new day. Every day we wake up, it's a new day. You should be
Yes.
motivating yourself in order to motivate others. So the
Right.
shoe game was just I love patterns. I love zebra.
Yeah.
I love cheetah print. I mean anything I like, I just thought of, I got a sneaker
Yes.
that I just designed. It got flowers on it. It's bright and sunny and I'm like, it's sunshine outside. Let me do this.
Yes.
So I mean, like I do
Like
sneakers,
your
I do
smile.
heels. I'm gonna eventually do some slippers because everybody was telling me my shoes are too high. So,
Mhm.
but I mean, it is what it is. You just gotta do what you gotta do and do what you love. So I wanted
Right.
to. Sometimes we don't get into shows, so you start
Mm-hmm.
making your own stuff. Sometimes,
Okay. Right.
people don't want to share their clothes with you as a brand ambassador or you to wear their stuff because they don't want to put out the extra material. When you're a curvy girl or a plus size
Mm-hmm.
model, people don't want to make clothes for you. That's why Injera went all the way to Africa because they make clothes for you.
Yes. They
And
love
it makes
to.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me
They
ask
love the
you,
curvy girls. Yeah.
where can we see your shoes? There's IG. I got the IG tag
Yeah,
there.
you
Just
can see it on
me.
IG. It's a Facebook page for it with Just
Okay.
Be, by Shalanda B. So yeah, and you can hit me up if you want to purchase them,
Okay.
and I will make arrangements. It's custom made, so it has
Okay.
to be made from scratch, and then you get your
Mm-hmm.
shoe. It's all sizes, so hit me up. Let me know.
Okay.
It's
I love
expensive.
it.
I'm gonna just tell y'all that now. But it's custom made. So you
Yes.
gotta do what you gotta do.
Let the artist create.
That's
So
right.
also you mentioned Shae with a New Day, and I did want to ask you about that, about your podcast, how it was birthed, and what is your mission?
My mission is to spread the word that you can do it, and it is always a new day. My show basically is to people to tell their story. Just like you got me on here telling my story.
Yes.
I dig into your stuff, like Angela's digging into mine.
Yes.
Um, but we talk about all different types of things. We talk about relationships. We talk about our goals and how we strive forth. Because I want people to tell their story just like I am telling mine. To
Yes.
strive forth, to do better. Where's their next goal? Where they trying to go next? And if they're not moving, then I want you to move. So I'll plant a seed in your head for you to do better where I see your career could be. Because that's what I do. That's what I do with Sean all the time. I pick his brain and make him push forward. That's why he's like all over the place.
I love it.
But I think that's a good summary of what Shae with a New Day is about. It's about just showing people that they can do it and that it's always a new day. It's on also Spotify. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on Amazon. It's on. It takes a little
Google
time.
Podcast.
Yeah, I'm yeah.
Like, get it, Shalanda.
I'm spreading it. Y'all gotta do better. Everybody gotta do better. It's too many people saying they can't, and that's the whole thing. I that's my word. There's no such word as can't. That's what I say. It's no such word as can't. You can do it, and a lot of people should say that to me when I had low self-esteem. Now you can't tell me I can't do nothing. You tell me I can, I'm gonna do it. As soon as you say I can't do it, I'm gonna do it. If I tell myself I can't, I'm gonna do it.
Motivation. Love it. You have a website too, right? ShaeWithANewDayProductions.com.
Yes.
I have it on
Shae
right
is
there on the
spelled
ticket.
SHAE. It's not HAAY. It's HAAE. So when you spell it out, that's how you spell it. And then Shae with a New Day Productions. Yeah.
So wonderful. I know we ran out of time, but I just love you, and I've been trying to get you on this show for every day. So I want to just ask you some words of encouragement. Any words of encouragement you'd like to leave with the audience before you go, and please tell us how we can reach you so we can show support, listen to your show, whatever it is that you're doing. Give us all your contacts, social media, all that good stuff.
If you want to book your show and you want to promote who you are, you could reach me at 929-266-9021. And if you want to book your show, you can book it on the website. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. You can also subscribe to my show on Spotify. You can go to Shae with a New Day. It's on there, or just go for Shalanda Boyce, and you can find me on there, or Shalanda B, whatever way you prefer. But as soon as you Google me, I say to anybody, just Google me and you'll find me.
Awesome.
Motivational speaking part. If you feel like you can't, you lying to yourself, you can do it. So never tell yourself you can't. You can. And if anybody else is telling you that you can't do it, you can do it. Just try. Don't say you can't do it. Just try it and then come up with a plan of how to do it better.
That's it. I love it. Shalanda, thank you so much for being on the show today. And just, your courage, your resilience, your friendship. I love you. And I'm just looking forward to all of the wonderful things that you are doing moving forward. As we close the show, I always like to close out with a Bible verse. And this one has been on my heart. It's 2 verses actually today. I am reading from Romans 8:38 and 39. And I'm reading from the New Living Translation. And it reads, "And I am convinced that nothing can ever separate us from God's love, neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither our fears for today nor our worries about tomorrow. Not even the powers of hell can separate us from God's love. No power in the sky above or in the earth below. Indeed, nothing in all creation will ever be able to separate us from the love of God that is revealed in Christ Jesus our Lord." So that I've just been meditating on those 2 verses. And when I think about it, God's love, his love is so amazing. I want to encourage all of you to grab onto God's love and be encouraged, be inspired, be uplifted, be empowered. I have a couple shout outs and some sponsors really quick and supporters before we go. And I have one small special request also before we go. So shout out to Careworthy and Hot Wax Promotions, also to the Organization of Black Designers, to Generation Next Realty Team, the Carrot Omni Media Team, and the Empowered Lifestyle Radio Show. They're on Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. on WPCE, WPCL, WBXB in Charlotte, and they're also in the Hampton Roads area. To Gloria Wong, my makeup sponsor, to Alex Udebu and Primitive Arts for my lovely background. Y'all see there's a new painting, right? Y'all see the giraffes? Like, y'all see the giraffes?
That is gorgeous. I was looking
So,
earlier when you first came on. I was like, ooh, what's that?
thank you. Yeah. So thank you for the background from Primitive Arts. Also, K Diamond Braided Wigs. This lovely piece I'm wearing is from K Diamond Braided Wigs, made by Miss Katie Shae. You can follow her on Instagram or on Facebook at Katie Shae, Khady space SY, Katie Shae. She's also a fashion designer, so please check her out. She has wonderful wigs. She has some wonderful pieces that she's promoting. So she also just started a boutique, and she's going to be on the show soon. I also want to shout out to my friend, I would call her Mama Cat, Catherine Ford. The earrings that I'm wearing are from her company. She's with Paparazzi, and these were a gift from her. So I want to shout her out. You can check out Miss Cat. She's on my Facebook, Catherine Ford. You can find her there. She has some lovely pieces with paparazzi jewelry. And last, before I go, what I said, I had a small, quick request. I have a friend, one of my church sisters. She lost her daughter. And she was a young girl, just a couple, maybe like 2 years old, not even a year old. Her name is Baby Carter J. Rose. And I just want to say, in memory of um, Carter J. Rose, they have a GoFundMe page, and I'm going to share it on my page. I would like, if you're able to contribute in any way, the mother's name is Ashley. My thoughts and prayers out to Ashley and her family. Her baby was sick for a while, and God took her home. But they are trying to reach a goal for all of her burial expenses, and we have a GoFundMe page for her. So I'm going to share that. It'll be on my regular Facebook page. I will share that. Please, if you can support in any way, if you don't see it, please, you can inbox me and I will share the link with you all. But if we can support in any way for baby Carter J. Rose, she was born December the 6th of 2020 with a defective, is some kind of defect that affects the normal blood flow. And she passed on just the other day, about 2 days ago. So my thoughts, my prayers, my love goes out to their family today. And I want to thank you all for watching. Thank you all of my supporters, those that have just been here with us throughout the whole pandemic. I love you guys. I thank you for your love and for your support. Once again, thank you to Miss Shalanda B for joining us today. You have been watching COVID-19 and Company, conversations from the epicenter across the globe with yours truly, Miss Angira Marie, signing off for now. We'll look forward to seeing you all again next Sunday, same time, same place. COVID-19 and Company, go like my page. You can also check us out on Angira Communications on YouTube. Please go like the page. If you've enjoyed the show, anything that you've felt has helped you today, please make sure to share with a friend, share with a family member, and we'll see you guys again next Sunday, 7 p.m., right here on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Toodles for now from Angira Marie, signing off.